Well, here goes nothing. I feel like I don't even look good today. My hair is definitely dirty. Hi. I feel like I'm dying today, but like that's fine. As I was setting up for this podcast, I was thinking about how much celebrities or just like people in entertainment, me, like don't get credit for. You know, like I wasn't like in the mood today, like last week, to really film my podcast. And I was like, if you're an entertainer of any sort, whether that be an actor, comedian, dancer, singer, like, bitch, if you're not in a good mood, you still have to perform, you know what I mean? You gotta put on a face, and, it might be different when it's, like, their actual professional job and they're getting paid, baby, okay? I feel like I'd be a lot happier if I was getting paid right now, but, like, you just have to fake it. Not every, you know what I mean? I hope you're not sad every day. That's just exhausting. To just like have to put on a face all the time, do interviews, be happy, be just like have this friendly, happy, optimistic presence. I mean, I guess you don't have to if you don't want to, you know what I mean? But just saying like you have to be like on, and that just sounds exhausting. You know what I mean? Still cruising along down my depressive week, continuing from last week. My dad this week was just like, why haven't you been as happy as you usually are? And I was just like, I don't know, life's rough. My dad's one of those people that just seems to be happy all the time. And I've really been wondering, like, is happiness actually a choice? Okay, or are those people who preach that just suppress their feelings so much and they're just so, you have to fucking dig so far down to find them that they just, like, are actually happy, quote unquote, because they just suppress their feelings so much. I feel like there's a difference between choosing to have a good attitude about something and like actually being genuinely happy. Like if you're having a bad day and you're just not in a good mood and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna take everything with a grain of salt and like I'm gonna get through this day and make it a good one. That doesn't mean you have to be like, whoa, throughout the whole day, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a difference between that. So I don't really know if happiness is a choice. I think optimism is. But I don't think they're the same thing. And like this past week too, I feel like at least for me, when I'm like not doing so hot, I'm just so out of my mind. And like just now, before I was filming my podcast and setting it up, I went to go grab the chair that I'm sitting on. And when I went to go grab the chair, I went and I grabbed the vacuum. And then as I started taking the vacuum away, I was like, wait, what did I come into this room for? I'm not vacuuming right now. And then I was like, oh, I'm filming my podcast. I don't need to clean right now. Same thing a couple days ago. I woke up, turned on my pot to warm up my water for my early morning tea. And I just was like standing there for 5 minutes. And then I opened the pot and I was like, oh, there's no water in this pot. So I was just waiting for literally nothing to boil. That was fun. I've just been very out of my mind.
You are out of my mind. Oh, you aren't seeing things right. Shout out 21 Pilots.
I mean, let's keep piling on to the not so great week. Why not? Okay? You know what sucks? Getting job rejections. Let me tell you, applying for jobs and getting rejected has to be one of the most disheartening things in the entire world. If you've gone to college and everything, I think it makes it worse because it's like, I just spent X amount of years studying, creating, learning my little ass off, paid so much goddamn money to do so, and like no one wants me. It's just very, I don't want to be a negative Nancy because I feel like if I'm too negative about it, then I'll never get a fucking job. At least though, I would rather get a rejection email than no email at all, because like when you really want a job and you wait like a month and you hear nothing back, I feel like after a month, you're like, okay, I'm probably, this is not going to happen. Throughout that month, while you're just waiting, it's like, at least just turn me down. You know what I mean? It's like if you have a crush on someone and you shoot your shot, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'll let you know how I feel. And then they wait like a month, and then they never talk to you again. It's like, okay, you know what I mean? Waiting that month, being strung along, thinking there's a chance. It sucks. But also at the end of the day, like, what's ever meant to be will be. So as much as like job rejections suck, it just, you know, you got to remind yourself that that means there's just a different job that's better for you. So it's all relative, baby. Okay. Yeah. I'm so tired of being sad. I'm like not like it's just, you know, I'm just not good, Allie. I'm just been not feeling it. And I feel like once it gets to a certain point and you're self-aware that you're just not having a good time, I'm just really tired of not having a good time. And this is where like the happiness as a choice thing comes into play. Like I'm not choosing to be sad. I just can't stop feeling sad. You know what I mean? And like I'm trying to like figure my life out and, you know, figure what steps I need to take to like make it better. But that shit doesn't happen overnight. Okay, so yeah. Why I got this shirt from Meyer. Isn't it dope? I was like, yo, Meyer coming through with the tie-dye shirts. Let's like keep deep diving into more sad stuff. Which after like this past week and a half, 2 weeks, I don't know how long it's been now, but I was like, wow, I really need to go back to my old therapist. She was amazing. And I do need therapy. So little gamer boy, if you listen to last week's episode, isn't going to cut it for me. Okay, with peace and love. But I was telling my dad this weekend, you know, how my parents fucked me up. And that sounds dramatic. And, you know, some parents have a more negative effect on their child's lives than others. But I feel like in every way, none of our parents are perfect. So the way in which they raised us, I'm sure has caused us to be a certain way or have a certain characteristic that we don't like, this, that, and the other. After going to therapy, you realize, like, I feel like a lot of times people feel like, they're like, oh my god, I'm like this way because my ex-boyfriend treated me like this. And it's like, no, honey, this probably stems all the way back to your mother, you know, from like when you were 7. And, you know, like, I feel like so many things stem back from our childhood. I listened to Whitney Cummings' podcast. If you know who that is, she's a comedian. But she talks a lot about, like, your inner child, like, coming out when you're older. Or, like, you know, your inner child's projecting, or your inner child is recreating circumstances. Don't fully understand that concept. Kind of do. Don't really know if it's always the accurate way to describe something. But, like, I do understand it more now because, like, I've heard a lot that if you were, like, treated a certain way as a kid, that you're gonna recreate those circumstances when you're in a relationship. Okay, so for example, wow, I'm really therapy Allie here again. Like an example, this is not related to me, but if your parents like never gave you a lot of love as a child, then you might like recreate that circumstance in a relationship and like always need a ton of reassurance because like you never got that as a kid. So it's like you're a child again and you're trying to redo the situation in a right way. You know what I mean? So if you didn't get love then, you need like the extra love now, if that makes sense. I feel like in a lot of cases that is very true. Oh, sorry guys, this is just not gonna be the most happy-go-lucky podcast this week, but another awful thing that happened. Okay, I've been having a bad like 2 weeks. Okay, I've been really rough in it. 2 weeks is like a rough estimate, but my favorite podcast, Frenemies, okay? If you've never heard of that podcast, it's with Trisha Paytas, who's been on YouTube for like almost like 15 years, and Ethan Klein, who's also been on YouTube a long time. He does the H3 podcast, if you've ever heard of that. Okay, but they started a podcast together called Frenemies, and their dynamic was just so great, so funny, and I loved it. Looked forward to it every week. Okay, came out on Tuesdays, which is today, and this is the first day it won't be up, and I'm just so sad. Like, there's very few things in my weeks that I look forward to as of recently, and that was one of them. So that was very disappointing. Okay, and it was, why do people have to do that? Like, I just don't. Everything's about me. Why did they have to cancel that? What I've been watching in the meantime, though, this week, as a distraction, because, you know, what's better than a distraction when you're unhappy? That's healthy. I've heard so many people talk about the show Love Island, okay, which is just like a reality love show, dating show, whatever. And that's literally all I've been watching. You know, when I come home from the gym, eat a snack, I'll put it on for a little bit, if I come home from work, eat dinner, put it on for a little bit. Like, I've only been watching Love Island, and it's actually, like, kind of a good show. The people on there are actually, like, either from the UK, or they have another season with Australians. And honestly, as I'm watching it, I was like, wow, Englishmen seem so much more respectful. And I could be wrong. But, like, as I was watching the show, okay, and I love their, like, lingo. They'll be like, do you fancy her? As in, like, do you like her? Or I think proper means, like, very. Like, they'll be like, oh, she's proper confident. And, you know, obviously they say, like, snog as, like, a kiss. But these men will, like, freak out if, like, one, they seem to, like, always ask a girl, consent, baby, okay, if they can kiss her, which is just very gentlemanlike. But they, like, freak out by, like, just being like, oh, we snogged. We had a little peck. Like, they seem so excited about a kiss, and I feel like American boys would be like, dude, we fucked. You know what I mean? I feel like based on watching the show, like, what it seems like those men from the UK, like, expect from a woman, which you should never expect anything from anyone. You know what I mean? No matter where your relationship's at, you should never, like, sexually expect something from them. Okay. But, it just seems like they're happy with fucking holding hands, like, fucking anything. The UK men, and I feel like American men, a lot of times, not all, but a lot, just, like, expect so much more, or expect things to escalate so much more quickly. I was just a little flabbergasted. I was like, okay, UK men, you do you, boo, you know what I mean? I'm a fan. It's also kind of refreshing to, like, get a different, like, culture, I guess. I mean, like, I know the UK, like, still speaks English and everything, and, like, you know, obviously a lot of Americans are, like, from Western European descent, but, like, I don't know, it's just cool. My sister watched it for me for, like, 20 minutes, and she's like, I have no idea what they're saying. I'm like, well, maybe if you watched it for more than 20 minutes, you would understand their lingo, okay? It's like learning a language. My dog just came into my room while I'm filming my podcast. Stink? What are you doing? Stink, what the fuck? Stink, what are you doing? Do you need something? My dog is... Stink, you moved my camera! My dog is literally sitting... Can you see him? He's just sitting underneath my little desk. Okay. Do you need to go potty? Okay, let's go potty. You need to go potty? Do 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 you need to go potty? Okay, let's go potty. Let's go potty. Okay, I'll be back. Oh my god. That just scared the fucking shit out of me. My dog coming in here and laying down. Listen, my dog never comes in my room. Okay? Never. Like, he'll on occasion, and then I usually tell him to get out because I don't want dog hair all over my room. Also, I lived out of my family's house for several years, and once I moved out, they got our new dog. So I didn't know the dog for the first, like, almost 3 years. You know what I mean? So when I moved in, I was like, who's this? And he was like, who's this? You know what I mean? So he doesn't really feel like my dog. Maybe a little more now. But that was fucking weird. He never voluntarily comes into my room unless I, like, call him in because I'm that bored. Should do some ASMR. I don't know how people like ASMR. There's something just, like, very creepy to it about me, and it's just very, like, intimate in a weird way. Like, I don't like it, especially, like, eating. Like, I could maybe understand, like, maybe, like little tapping noises or something, like, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I feel like I would just find it irritating. But, like, chewing, I hate the sound of people chewing. Like, my sister sometimes, I cannot eat with her in silence. Like, if we're home alone and we're just, like, eating lunch together or something, like, the TV needs to be on. You know what I mean? Or, like, we need to be having back and forth conversations so I can't focus on, like, her chewing. No offense to her, with peace and love. Like, I really just can't stand it. And same with, like, I could never date a man who, like, would, like, chew loudly or chew loud with his mouth open. Like, I am very particular about, like, people I enjoy eating with that, like, don't irritate me with their eating. Anyways, that's a pet peeve. God, I feel like I've just been so down today. It's not very like me. I feel like generally I'm a pretty happy, optimistic person, but life's just not been great. Okay. I mean, there's, like, a lot of great things you can find in everyday life. Okay, you know, there are, but I've just not been having a good time. All right. I think I'm supposed to get some new clothes in the mail today, so that's exciting. I didn't really have the money to get new clothes. I recently bought 2 bathing suits months ago and finally got to wear them the past couple weeks. Don't really like them. So bought a new bathing suit. I bought 2 dresses. Wow. I bought a dress that's, like, very girly. Not my usual style, but I was like, bitch, I can be whoever I want to be. You know what I mean? Otherwise, until then, I'm going to keep wearing this shirt I got from Meyer. Because once I found an outfit, bitch, I wear it till death do us part. I can't find biker shorts yet. Actually, I just ordered some. But my sister let me borrow her biker shorts. And she's like, I better see those back in my room. Yeah, they're going to be in my room for a while. I don't know what else, guys. I'm not feeling super hip hooray today. Okay. So this might be a short podcast. You know, quality over quantity, if this even is quality. Okay, I feel like I should apologize for how not optimistic I am. But, like, that's life, baby. We ain't gonna fake it. We're just gonna make it. If you like this podcast, like it, subscribe, comment. You know what to do, baby. And yeah, I hope you had a great week. And I'll talk to you later. Follow me on TikTok if you want to keep up with me daily at AllieSonia7. Okay, I posted a really sad TikTok last night, and then I woke up and I was like, okay, the world doesn't need to see that sad of a TikTok. It was like a funny, sad TikTok. Okay, here, like, I am very open with my emotions, obviously, but, like, I still like to make it humorous, but I was like, still no, so I deleted it. But besides that, you can keep up with me there. Okay, bye!